So recently, the Huffington Post posted a pro-gun group in Georgia is against constitutional carry. So let's go ahead and talk about it and look at what really was said. Welcome back to the channel, Wolverines, or welcome to the channel if this is the first time you have been here, because I can't welcome you back to something you have never been to. Kind of like gun buybacks. You can't buy back a gun that you've never owned. If you don't know who I am a troublemaker and also an investigative journalist. I investigate the ATF and FBI and all the different government agencies that want to violate your God-given right to bear arms. If you do me a big favor, like, comment, and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. And let me know if you think that the media takes things out of context to make gun buyers look bad. I also have a mailing list you can jump on. It's something new that I am trying. I did it a while ago, but kind of died out, but I'm doing it again. So you can get all the stories that I work on, my videos, everything else, every Friday directly to your inbox, which is really cool, especially if you don't like using social media. You just get the email, you can look up everything, and be happy. Okay, the story today is about constitutional carry in Georgia and misquotes by a paper. The Huffington Post recently wrote that a pro-gun group is against constitutional carry. And this one kind of surprised me. It's the National African American Gun Owners Association. And that kind of surprised me because they're pretty no compromise. And especially being African American, you would think that they would be against any type of permitting system where the state controls what you can own. So I decided to look into it a little bit more and figure out what the hell was going on. It turns out it all stems from a TV station. They released an article, and the TV station is WSB-TV, TV2, and Hotlanta, as some of my friends like to call it. Devin, Kevin Dixie, all those guys down there. The great people, and I will soon be traveling down there to see them. I don't know when, but I will be doing that pretty soon. They listed a quote by Philip Smith from the National African American Gun Association saying that they are all about training black people how to handle a firearm and how to shoot. Well, Huffington Post picked that up and stated that they're against constitutional carry because they think that you need to have training before you get a permit. That's not exactly what he said. He said that he believes that they should get training, and it's the mission of the NAAGA to train African American people in the use of firearms, and the use of self-defense, and all that other good stuff. That does not call for government interference or the government stepping in and mandating anything. In fact, the National African American Gun Association is for constitutional carry, and they were for the Georgia law allowing people to carry a gun without a permit. I reached out to those guys today, and they confirmed that they do believe in constitutional carry, and they are for the law. What you are seeing here is the Huffington Post taking something out of context to make a point that they want to push. They want to push that gun owners and pro-gun groups are for permitting systems such as a concealed carry permit, which is not the case. Most gun organizations, I would venture to say almost all gun organizations, there might be a couple FUD ones out there, but most gun organizations are for constitutional carry. It's part of the right to bear arms. The right to bear arms says the government cannot interfere with your right to carry a weapon. And what concealed carry permits are, it's an infringement to that right. Yes, most gun owners, including me, go ahead and get a concealed carry permit to carry a firearm. Now, with the rise of constitutional carry, which has passed in 25 states, so exactly half the country is now able to carry a gun without a permit, which I think is great, and I think it's going to expand. I can see Virginia going down that road in a year or two, and I can see other states also following suit. And that really scares them, because you got to remember, in the late 90s, concealed carry permits were not really a thing. You couldn't carry a gun concealed in most of the country until these permit systems came into effect and we were allowed to carry firearms, or the government allowed us to. I mean, you always were allowed. It's just the government was not going to arrest you and throw you in jail for carrying a firearm. So they see that and they are scared. I talk a lot about doing little steps, taking little victories in lieu of the big victory. Not that you shouldn't go for the big victory, but just realize you probably won't get the big victory. So little victories can add up to a big victory. And I think that's what we're seeing here. If we would have went for constitutional carry in the late 90s, there's no way in hell we would have got it, and we would have not got this. Did we go for constitutional carry for the late 90s? Yes, but we also went for a permitted system. Little steps, right? It's not a compromise if you get something and they don't get something back. That's not a compromise. They try the same thing on us all the time. They always try these little baby steps to take our rights away a little bit at a time, and they call it compromise. So let's call this compromise going the other way too. But the media wants to show that that isn't the case, so that's why they misquoted those guys. You can also see at the 1A show, Rob Pincus was on there. No matter what you think of Rob Pincus, they did his interview. They did the David Chipman interview, and a guy from Johns Hopkins University, the new Bloomberg-funded anti-gun research lab over there, I guess. And they were able to say their point about unfinished frames and receivers. Then they played Rob Pincus's interview on unfinished frames and receivers. And then they gave David Chipman and the guy from Johns Hopkins a chance to respond, but Pincus never got a chance to respond to them. And they called Pincus a liar and a bunch of other things, and they mischaracterized him and they demonized him. And that's the reason why I would never do the 1A show. But he did it, and he did a good job. But they had to use their platform to try to diminish what he said. And that's what the media does. You just have to be very, very careful when speaking to the media. And you have to know who you're speaking to. Vice, for example. A lot of people shit on Vice, saying Vice is anti-gun and everything, and they might be. But in my experience, Vice has been very fair to the gun world, where other organizations like NBC News have not been fair to the gun world. So just be careful when talking to the media. Just know that they're going to try to screw you over unless it's a friendly media outlet like Fox. Fox, maybe not the most favorite station of people in the gun world, but they are kind of fair when it comes to the Second Amendment. Alright, that is it for today. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day in New York. You have a wonderful day. Remember, I love you. Stay ever vigilant. Stay ever free. Keep in the fight. And I am out of here. Wolverines, motherfucker.